begin, we'll just go over introduction first. We'll be spending a short hour on reviewing and digging into the new sidebar. This is a sneak peek training. My name is Lori Gibbons. I'm an Assistant Director of Graphic and Web Design at COIP. And today we have Brenda Such, who is an Associate Director at COIP. And we have Wanda Garfield, a Web Designer. And then Josh Eddy, Graphic Designer. And then we have Ami Blasberg, Resident Multimedia Specialist, Tech Everything person who is going to be helping us with any technical issues if we have any. And today I'm going to give you a quick sneak peek of the new DesignPLUS sidebar, and then we'll be working in our sandboxes. And I'm going to show you the most used things that you will encounter in the new sidebar so that you can practice before we roll out on January 6th. Let me get my notes up. They're not pulling up for some reason. Oh, please. There we go. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to go over before I dig in. So you have a few minutes to just get your sandbox open, and it'll probably take about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll work. And so I'm just going to go ahead and get going in the sidebar. Good morning, everybody. Let me just give you a quick overview. Some of you might have already seen this in some previous presentations we've done over the past couple of weeks, but the rollout plan. Oh, first of all, before we begin, I wanted to see who all have used the legacy sidebar before, or if there's any new legacy sidebar users in the group today. So I don't think there's anybody new today, new to the DesignPLUS.
I am new, sorry. I am new. I forgot to.
New sidebar person?
Yeah.
We will just briefly touch on the legacy sidebar. You just have to use it to copy the page into your course so that we can upgrade. Is there anybody not from UF here today? I know we extended this invite to a couple of other institutions just to have a quick training. Looks like there's one new person. Did we make a sandbox for participants? You can just use your own sandbox today. And you can just make a new page, just a blank page to work on. All right, so I'll just go over the basic time frame, if you're curious, as to the legacy sidebar phase out to when it's going to be sunset and when you have to use the new sidebar. So this fall, COIP has been testing and piloting the new sidebar in our courses. And we've been conducting trainings, doing some posting and emails just to get the news out about the January 6th rollout day. So next spring the new sidebar will be available. Right now, today, I will give you a shortcut on how to open the legacy sidebar or the new sidebar to test it out before January. Then in May 7th, in January, all of spring semester, the legacy sidebar will be the default sidebar that will open. And then you manually have to toggle it to the new sidebar. In May, the new sidebar will be the default sidebar when you open a page. The legacy sidebar will still be available using the button, the toggle button. So you can still use the legacy sidebar from May to December. And then in December, the legacy sidebar, City Lab will be sunsetting the legacy sidebar. So we have a whole year to make our pages all new sidebar pages and get used to it and do some training. Now, our upcoming trainings, we have the training today, and it will be recorded, and we'll be posting it in our Canvas course. So I'll show you some resources and where to find that. And then in January, we have a DesignPLUS beginner training, and I highly recommend going to that one if you want. It's going to be a 2-hour training with Amanda from City Labs, and we'll be hosting it, but she will actually be conducting the training, and they are very, very good at their training. So it's going to be much more in depth than I'll be going over today. And the summer school in the spring is going to be February 24th to 28th. And this is the COIP fan favorite training. We've all just loved the summer school for educators training. And we just decided to have a watch party so that we can all get together and watch it for an hour a day for 5 days. So from 12:30 to 1:30. And I might just answer some questions about what's going to happen to your legacy courses. Don't panic. Nothing is going to happen. They'll all appear the same. You can work with them. You can still work in legacy. I'll show you how to convert your pages to new sidebar so that you can use the new sidebar in legacy pages. But for the students, even after the legacy sidebar sunsets, if you have a legacy sidebar page, it's still going to display and function the same for every student. So even if you can't get around to upgrading your course and it's still in legacy come 2026, it's going to be okay. Your students can still see and function, see and interact with your online content. So I want to jump in and we can go ahead and start building a page. So I'm going to switch over and go to my my browser and show you how to switch from a legacy page to the new sidebar. So here is the keyboard shortcut that we're going to use shortly. It's Alt Option Shift V like Victor. And that's how right now we're switching from a legacy sidebar to the new sidebar. Come January, there's going to be a button. It's going to be, right now, it's behind the settings. And I'll show you that in a little bit. But shortly, they're going to be making it a little bit more visible. So it's going to be not so hidden behind a couple of clicks. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to open my page. And so if you are ready, go ahead and open a blank page and then copy this page into your legacy course by launching the design tools and then going to copy existing content and then paste the URL into the editor. And Wanda, could you paste that URL into the chat for the users in case they don't have it ready? Is there anybody that doesn't have the page?
I see the page, but I don't have any access to edit it, therefore I can't copy it.
Yeah, same here.
Did you use the URL from the 524762 course?
Yes, the one that was added in the chat, yes.
And so you're going and pasting it into the create edit content and then putting it in there, and then what happens?
No, the design tools, the design bar does not even appear. It's like a blank page on the right hand side. We don't have access to the design bar. That's all I'm saying. I think my colleagues same thing.
Sorry, let me back up. Are you using the Alt Option Shift V yet? Because we're not going to use that right now. We're just opening a legacy sidebar.
No.
I think we're just confused because it looks, if we click on the link, it's more like a student view of that page where there's no option to edit. So it seems like we need to go into our sandbox and copy it from this course. Okay.
Yep. So open a blank page in your sandbox.
Okay.
Then we're going to just take that link and paste it into the copy existing content and copy content by URL. And then just paste it in. Click the retrieve page icon. And then it should just overwrite your blank page. So I'll just review that one more time. So you're going to go into your sandbox and open a blank page. So it'll look just like this with nothing in the rich content editor. Then open design tools using the rocket ship in the upper right hand side. But to go back, if you accidentally went to the new sidebar using the keyboard shortcut, just use the keyboard shortcut again and it'll launch the legacy sidebar. So you can just go back and forth using Shift Alt Option V. So with the legacy design tools, we're just going to work in the page that the page URL that you copied from earlier. So now it seems like everybody has that page. If not, that's okay. You can just work in any legacy page. It doesn't have to be this page, but you could just open any legacy page if you like. So it seems like you somebody asked if you have to save this page. Yeah, go ahead and save just to make sure. Just in case you exit out without saving, you still have everything. So, all right. Okay, so now that we have the legacy page in our course and we have the legacy sidebar open, this is just to simulate how your courses will look. So you'll have a legacy course with the legacy tools open. Now come spring, we're ready to start playing and start editing with the new sidebar. So in the springtime, we'll have a button, and currently the button is behind settings, design tool settings, and there's a try new version button available. And that is how you're going to launch in the spring. But today, because it's not officially launched yet, we're just going to use the keyboard shortcut to reload the page with the new sidebar. So now we can reload the page with the new sidebar. So now you can hit the keyboard shortcut that I gave you and then launch the new DesignPLUS sidebar. And I'm going to give you just a couple of seconds to do that. We'll make sure that everybody can see the new sidebar. And again, the keyboard shortcut is Alt Option Shift V like Victor. And I'll just Alt Option Shift and V like Victor. Cool. So I think everybody has it pulled up or can actually see the new DesignPLUS sidebar. And so I'm just going to give you a quick tour of the sidebar so we all know where everything is. Typically when I do trainings, the first thing we do is we go and look in the settings and make sure that our settings are all the same. So in the new sidebar, we go into more options, and City Labs likes to call this the kebab menu. So we go into the more options kebab menu, and then we're going to go to user settings. Then you'll see here, currently I have everything unchecked, which is how you may see it. But I recommend that you check on automatically launch sidebar. And then we check on enable all advanced tools. If you're using a Mac, it's Option Shift V like Victor. If you're using a Windows device, it's Alt Shift V. And one thing I do want to notice while we're here, and I do want to mention while we're here in settings, is you can enable beta tools if you're feeling adventurous, because City Labs comes out with some new things, and then you can just test them out in the new sidebar before they're officially released. So we like to have that turned on at COIP. And it does show you what's beta by a little flag by the tool, so that you know you can make a judgment call whether you want to try to use it or not. Okay, so that is all about settings. And then you'll also notice that there's an arrange content option here. I'll show you that a little bit later. But here we have our advanced panel. We're not going to go over that today, but that's how you can do some advanced things that you could do in the legacy sidebar. It's all in here, like edit your HTML and things like that. And then here in the help and tutorials, we have all of our learning resources here. So the City Labs tutorials and their user guides are in here. You can just click it and it will launch right in the sidebar, which is super helpful. So you don't have to open a new browser tab. And then my favorite part is that videos, which launch right in the sidebar. They might have a slightly slow connection today. They're not launching as quickly as they normally do, but super helpful just to watch a video as you're working. And then here we have our local support email. So if you want to email us here at City Labs, or sorry, at POIP, it's designplus-help@ufl.edu. And then there's walkthroughs as well. And then we have our accessibility and usability navigation. So this is the new area for all things accessibility. You can do your heading checker, and new map checker is here. And then there's also a helpful table checker. And then the most important thing right now as we are transitioning is this upgrade button. And you'll see it has the exclamation point telling you that it's very, very important. And we'll be doing that momentarily. Then we have our external assets. So that is an interesting, we will go over that in the January training, but it's how to pull in broken images from links that you copied, like today. So instead of having to import a course, you can just use this external assets tool, and then it will move the files from that course to this current course, so you don't have to import. And then this is the Add New Elements tab. This is how you can add, well, just like I said, anything to your page. So everything that was in Legacy, you'll find somewhere in here. There's so many things to add. And then the best thing is that you can search, use a search function, and it automatically just pulls up the item that you're searching for so you can quickly find it. And then it also has a recently used tool so that it has the most recent for use tool so you don't have to search for it every single time. And then you can do things like change the list view, change the view, sort it, and so on and so forth. And then here in the Edit Current Element tab, it looks like a bullseye. That is one of the most important areas because that's how you're going to edit any element and drill down and get into the specifics of what you're editing. So that's it for the tour. And really what I want to do is we're all going to upgrade this page. And so you're going to be doing this for any of your legacy courses that you want to edit with the new sidebar. So what we'll do is we'll go into the accessibility usability area and then make sure that you see the upgrade button, and we'll just click upgrade. And then you'll see a button that says upgrade all 9 items. And then I just want to, before you do that, show you that you can update individual items. So if you don't want to update the whole page, you could just update, say, the banner title, so on and so forth. But for today, we're just going to upgrade all 9 items. And just so you know, this is not the only spot to upgrade your item. You can also go into settings and use the course upgrade tool. We're not going over that today, but City Labs does have that available for you to upgrade your whole course all in one area, so you don't have to go page by page. So everybody, I'm just going to take, let me make sure. Oh, I want to show you one more thing before we pause so that everybody can perform the upgrade. You'll notice that I did hit the button. I was kind of talking while I was hitting it. Sorry, while I clicked it, but it did perform the upgrade. And you can see the page looks slightly different. There's some magenta dashed lines around each block with a label. And then the page style, like the icons got a little bigger. So I do want to let you know that when you do upgrade, there's some small visual changes that could happen. Maybe not on every page, but maybe on some pages. But all of your content is going to be there. Every link will be there. Nothing will be broken. So don't worry. And then once we have the upgrade completed, then we're just going to click on the header, for example. And then you'll see these buttons under the navigation. And we'll just click on theme. And then these buttons are important because they drill down and help you edit the element that you need. So for example, if I have my active tool set and I'm in a paragraph, it tells me the paragraph is inside a content block. And so I can just select content block if I wanted to edit that block. But for this example, I want to edit the theme. So I'm going to click on the H2. Then I'm in the text in the H2, which is inside a banner title, which is inside the theme. And then, so now that I have the theme selected, I'm going to style in my content panel and then legacy theme. And here is where the magic happens because you can switch between all the available stock themes. And I can tell this is a basic bar theme, but I could switch to basic color, for example, or flat section. And then it will automatically just apply the theme. So I'm just going to pause and then we can all upgrade our pages and apply a new theme. Now, while you're working, I'll just undo all of my changes and do it one more time in case you want to follow along.
Lori, can you show them how you made your RC window bigger?
Yes.
I got rid of that.
Okay, so I use my undo button. Also, the undo button, there was one in the legacy sidebar, but it works a lot better in the new sidebar. And how I got my page to be larger was this toggle full screen button. You have to make sure that you're scrolled all the way up if you in the editor, and then it's in the upper right hand side. I'm gonna close it and relaunch. All right, so just do this one more time so you can see. So I just toggle full screen with the upper right hand corner button right next to the DesignPLUS logo. And that eliminated the left-hand canvas navigation. And then to upgrade, I'm just going under the accessibility usability. I'm basically just following the breadcrumb trail of the red circle exclamation points and then finding the upgrade button. And then I'm just clicking upgrade all 9 items. Then it says no upgrades detected, so I've upgraded my whole page. So to change your theme, what you're going to do is click on the edit current element navigation. And then click in your H2 where it says module 1. Just place your cursor in module 1. And then you'll see that your active tabs here change. And so you just want to click on theme. And then you're going to navigate into the style panel. It might be collapsed for you, but just open up style. Then you'll see another accordion called legacy themes. You can just select any theme just by clicking on the button. And then you know it's a theme selected because it's a gray button instead of a white button. But for today, I'm just going to stick with my original theme, which was basic bar. So just if you had, say, for example, if you had a legacy theme with flat sections, it will automatically map it to a flat sections. So if it was flat sections 1 in legacy, it will be flat sections 1 in new. You don't have to go and change your theme. I just want to show you where it is in case you want to, because that option is there. Also, if you're just building from a blank page, you can just select a theme also to get the styling how you want it. Also, just one caveat is there are a couple of updated themes. So there were, if there were, say, ribbons, for example, in the legacy sidebar, and you use the ribbons theme, ribbons isn't, there's just a couple of depreciated themes. isn't in the new sidebar. So all you have to do, it'll map it to a close one, but if you don't like it, you can just go in here and change it. So that is how to upgrade your page and edit your theme. One thing I want to note before we move on from themes is in the content panel, you can add a banner image here and then add a link grid, say if you were on your home page. So I'll just add those so you can see how they look. If I was on a home page, I would just add some link grids and add or remove a banner image if you want. Okay, so now that we have our page upgraded, we're going to move on to the next thing, which is how to edit your content. So I kind of mentioned it before, but we have this navigation in the top. I'll go over adding alt text in a few minutes when we get to images, but all you do is you just click on the image, and then in the panel on the right, there's an alt text where you can enter in the, there's a field where you can enter in alt text. So, so now that we have it converted, we're going to just edit a couple of things. If you click on banner title, if you put your cursor in the H2 where it says module 1, then just in the tab, click on your banner title to make that the active tool that you're working with, because that's the key to the new sidebar. Is you have to make sure that you are hitting the right thing in the active tab. So if I move my cursor around, say for example, if I have it in this H3 here, you notice that my active tabs change. Move it to the paragraph so you can see it change again. So because it's a paragraph inside a content block, if I move it to this list, it's an unordered list inside a content block. So you have to, if I wanted to edit the list, I would have to make sure that I have the list selected. If I wanted to edit the content block, I have to make sure I have the content block selected. And your options change based on what you have selected in your active tab. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the text up here in my H2 because maybe I changed my module to module 5. So I'll just select banner title. And here in the content panel, you see I can just enter text in all of these fields. So super easy. I would just change module 1 to module 2. Then I can also change my heading structure in this area. So this isn't a really good use case, but if I wanted to make it an H6, for example, I could do that here. I'm not going to do that today, but you can do it in any other headings further on down the line if you want to. And so that's how to change your heading. You can also just change it using your RCE, but I just wanted to show you how to do it using the sidebar. Then you can also change the order using this panel here. And this is kind of one of my favorite things. This is called the action toolbar. So right under your edit tab is an action toolbar where you can manipulate the content that you have selected. So for example, if I wanted to take this banner title, which I have selected in my active tool, and move it, I'm just going to move the banner title up and down using these arrow buttons. I could add a paragraph before or after the banner title, or I could delete it. I could also copy it if I wanted to. And yeah, so if I wanted to rearrange items, this is one way to rearrange items. So you would just select the thing that you want to move and then just move it up or down accordingly. And the other way to move items is using your more options menu, your kebab menu, and going to arrange content. And then you just use the handle here, and then you could just move it around. You can also delete items here too. The tricky part about this arranged content is that you have to make sure that you're in the right element. So if you accidentally had header selected, you would have less options, or if you had body selected, you have too many options. That's why I like just to do it in the edit current element in this tools area. So that's how to edit content and move content. So we'll just take a couple of seconds and let you kind of play with the active tool and play with your action toolbar. So again, just as you're working and moving some things around, the top portion is called your navigation. It's like tabs inside of the blue background area. And then the portion below is your active tool. And then you just have that selected to enable the specific edit for the tool that you have selected. So it targets the specific content that you're working with. And then the action toolbar below helps you move things around, delete things, and add things. Monica's tool function disappeared in the DesignPLUS sidebar. I don't see anything wrong with it in the picture you showed, Monica. But just to get, if anything isn't there, then you can always just go back to your edit current.
Little screwdriver is missing. The
Screwdriver?
Yeah.
The advanced?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not working in advanced today.
I was
But
just
do you have, did you go to user settings and turn on advanced?
yeah, I think so.
That's okay. It doesn't have to be there today. We're not going to
Okay.
be.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. Thank you.
All right. So we're going to go into a little bit more, some more examples here. So let me show you how to work with icons. It's really easy. It's similar to the legacy sidebar. So all you do is you just click on the icon, and then you see how my tabs changed. My active tab recognized that, hey, you want to edit an icon. So it loaded the icon tab. So for example, I'm just going to click in the paragraph, and it noticed, hey, you wanted to work with text. But no, right now I want to click on the icon and change the icon. And then I select icon in the active tool. And then you can just choose your icon from the drop-down list in the content panel. Having a second to gather the icons. So then I can just search for an icon that I want a help. So I'm going to say, I like to use the, oops. So that's how you change an icon, is you can search for icons and then you just select the icon to replace the one that you had there before. And then if I wanted to change an icon color, I would just go to the style panel. And there's the colors area. And then I just select icon color. Then it loads all of the UF branding colors and then some miscellaneous colors. So I'll make my icon green for this example. But you can also change the size and style and border width of your icons here. So if I wanted an icon with an underline, I could do that. Or a square icon, say with a background color of yellow. I could do that. And it's automatically making it accessible. And then you can change the size of your icons also. And then before we pause to try to play with our icons, I'm going to show you how to work with lists, so you can work with lists and icons. So again, I'm just going to put my cursor in a list. So I'm under the objectives in the list item. Then the sidebar automatically changed my active tool to the unordered list. And then my content panel changed to show all of the list items. So here you can drag and rearrange, copy and delete each list item if you want to, instead of having to copy and paste. Then here in style in your list items, you can change it from a bullet point to a circle to a square, or you can change it from that to numbers, similar to like a word editing program or something like that. You can change it to alpha, lower alpha, so on and so forth. The nice thing about the new sidebar is that you have the hanging indent option. So if I was doing like a citations list, it automatically adjusts that margin for you. And then you can also use the space between items just to give it a little more breathing room if you want. And so I'm just going to pause and play my copy house music that's not working. I'll see if I can fix it. But so you can try that. Try to modify your icons and try to see what you can do with the objective list here. And somebody's saying that the icon size is not appearing to change. Let me see if I can replicate that. So I'm just going to click on the icon and then try to change the size. So I have do you have your icon selected in the active tab? So let's see. If it's on default, see what mine does. Small, medium, large. Mine is changing. If something doesn't seem to be working in the sidebar, I like to just reset it back to default. That's another good thing about the new sidebar is there's always an easy way to delete any custom changes that you've done by looking at that little eraser icon and then changing it back. The color might not, or sorry, the shape might not look the way you want it to look with the icon. I think it's just because of the theme that you have selected. So it could, these styles could look different in the different themes that you have. So Tiffany's saying when I change the size of the icon, it moves off center in the circle. Yeah, and she's saying she's using flat sections. Let me see. Change my theme. Flat sections. There might be a leading space before the icon, potentially. If you sections 2. Yeah, it does look a little off. Yeah, that's something we could just look into and let City Labs know. Could also be the theme itself is not designed to use that particular style that you have selected. But oh, I noticed if I change the border, if I clear the border width, everything kind of goes back. If I reset it to default, it looks okay. Yeah, that's something we can mention to City Lab. Like I said, this is just a sneak peek. We're still testing some things out and trying to fix some things. So that's how to use lists and how to style your icons. So now I'm just going to show you how to add buttons and links. So if I'm just going to move down to the graded assignments section. Then just add a paragraph and get out of the list item. And I'm just gonna have an empty paragraph for my cursor to work in. So my active tab should say text inside of a content block. Then I'm just going to use the add new elements. And now I'm going to use the search function and search for link. And you'll see link pulled up right under basic content. And then my content panel changed. So now I have a content panel with some things I can do in here. So what I'm going to do is find the assignment that I want to link to. Oh, hang on. Let me do that one more time to show. I don't think I was explaining. So I'm in the links active tab, and then I clicked on course links. It's an accordion. So I'm just going to open that accordion. And then I'm going to open assignments. Quizzes. Oh, I don't have any actually. If you are in your sandbox or something, you might have assignments and you can just click it and then it will automatically add it. But for today, I am going to add a standard link because I'm in our test course and I don't have any. So here in link, you can add your course links, but this is a test course, so I don't have any course content, but it's a great way of adding content from your course. Otherwise, if you have an outside link, you could just link it here in this link area. So I'm just pasting a link in the link box, and then it changes, or it, so I have my link added, and then to edit the text, you just go into the link text area, and then you can just change it to go to whatever you want, go to assignment, this particular example, and then you can also add your icon by just clicking on the icon picker. And then we'll just select any old icon for the example for today. Then there's also one new feature in the new sidebar. It's called remove underline styling. So if you wanted your link to not have the standard href underline, you can do that here. Then one new thing, again, is if I have this, for example, this link, you can really easily convert it to a button. So my sidebar is a little laggy today. So thank you for your patience. But all I did was I just clicked on the link, then went to the link in my active tab. Then I expanded style in my style panel. And then you'll see something called button style. And here you can change the color and size of your link item because it changes it to a button right here in the editor. So I just clicked on solid. Then I'm going to click on the green and it should change it. It's taking it a second. It's a little laggy today. There we go. All right, so yeah, so it changed it from a link to a button. by just going into the style in your link under button styles and then clicking the solid color. And you can also do an outline if you want. You can change the size of your button. You can change the outline and so on and so forth. Then you might be asking yourself, well, how do I change it from a button back to a link? If you didn't want the button anymore, you don't have to redo it all together and start from scratch. You can just click the clear style button with the little eraser, like I was mentioned briefly earlier. So I can just click clear styles if I want it to go back to that link. And then you can just go back and forth here. And one thing to note is when I did change this link to a button, note that it does change your active tab up in the top of the editor. So if I can get it to respond, I can show you that when I changed it from a link to a button, it automatically added button above the link icon or before it in my active tool. So everybody can just go ahead and practice adding buttons, playing with the list. Sure that I covered everything that I need to. So now one more thing before we move on. Yeah, button styling. Brian's saying that he likes the button styling much more. It's much better in the new sidebar. Another thing that people use all the time is accordions and tabs. So we'll just quickly add a tab and accordion. Then I want to add an image before we wrap up for today, because our hour is already almost up. So just go ahead and click where I'm doing this is in the learning resources, because what I want to do is I want to add some tabs and change the learning resources from a bulleted list into a tab that says lectures and reading. So I'm just going to click on the last bulleted item and then just click return a couple times to give myself a paragraph. And here I have a paragraph to work with, and I can tell because in my active tab, I see the text here. Then I'm just going to go to my add new elements and search tab, T-A-B. Just going to click on the tabs button. And then it's automatically going to add it into the page and launch the tab content panel. So here in my content panel, you see I have two panels open, and then I can edit the tab name right in here. So under panel 1, I'm going to name this lectures. Panel 2, I'm going to name this reading. And then you can see it just updates the tab in your RCE. And then another new thing is your heading structure. You can change it from right in here in your content panel in tab. So a lot of times we'll be under H3s or 4s, and then DesignPLUS, the legacy, will add a tab default under H3. That's just the default behavior, but you need to change your heading structure, and you can do it right in there for all of your tabs open. And the cool thing about this is the style panel. There's all kinds of new styles for tabs now. So we have, you can change from tabs to accordions right in here. You can change the look and feel of your tabs from the default to underlined tabs, like the pill tabs. You can even do a pill tabs list vertical on the left-hand side of the page if you want that. And then you can also change your tab color in here. So let's just pause for just a couple minutes and then add tabs and play around with the content panel and the style panel. And you can even, if you are there, you can just take this content, then move it into your tab panel. My moderator's telling me we only have 5 more minutes left. We ran out of time very quickly, but that's okay. I'm done telling you the 10 things that I wanted to tell you today. Feel free to keep on playing with the accordions and tags while I'm talking. But I do want to show you how to add an image before we leave today. Then maybe we'll have a couple minutes for some questions. So to add an image, there are a couple of ways to do it. You always in the RCE, you always want to have your cursor where you want the content to belong. So for this particular example, I'm going to put it at the beginning of the overview. So right where this page was originally, right in front of the first paragraph. Then, as we always do, we just go to add new elements and then search. So we'll search image. Then it pulls it right up for me. Under basic content, I'm just going to click image. And then it just has a generic kind of icon in there for now because we're going to go into our course files and select the image that we want for today. So for this particular example, my content panel changed. It opened up my course files under change image. And then I'm just going to select on my icon, my little image, and it's going to automatically swap it out. Then here is where we change our alt text. So just change my alt text there. Another awesome thing with the new sidebar is that you can set the image as a pop-up by just clicking this checkbox here. This wouldn't be a really great use case, but just to show you that it's there. And then here, just like with the legacy under style, you can change your width and your height of any image. Ooh, not 520 image. I'm going to say 250. So we can change our width. I'll just change it to 200. And for this example, I'm just going to float the image left. So because I want the text to wrap around the image. And so I just clicked float left. It wraps around the image. Then I can set my my responsive sizings here, just like in the legacy sidebar. Again, there's a clear style button if you need to go back. And that's how to add an image. Again, you can still use, wow, my water bottle. You can also use the upload embed image tool here. It's still there for you to use if you want to use it. And how to add a banner image is I'm going to go into my H2, select my theme, and then I just click on banner image. And then it adds an image under my H2 block. Then you can edit it if you just click on it with your cursor and select image in your active tool, and then choose your image. So we have 1 more minute left. Are there any questions, burning questions, or anything that I can answer before we leave today? We're going to have a Canvas resources page for you, for UF users. That's not 100% ready yet, but it'll be ready in the coming weeks. And we will put all of this reporting in that course and all of our resources in that course as well. I don't see any questions coming through the chat. I can talk more about images. I have about 30 seconds left.
I had a quick question. I don't know if you can hear me over the screaming, but
I can hear you.
how can you put like an image between 2 content blocks? Like, is there a way to move the cursor between them? Or do you have to like make a blank content block in there?
Yeah, if you just, what I recommend doing is, so for example, if I want an image under the overview, just put your cursor in the block, select content block. You can add an image like just like this, but you can't, what I like to do is just add a paragraph after using the, using your toolbox here, and then place your cursor in the paragraph.
Thank you.
And then somebody was asking if I could redo how to add a banner image. I can sure do that. Let me just go back a couple of times. Okay. So how I will add a banner image is I'm just going to select the H2 on the page just to get to my theme. Then click on theme. And then in the content panel, there's the banner image where I can just click the plus button and then we'll just add a default banner image. And then from there, you can just change it out. To change real quick, just to change the image in case you're wondering, I have to select the image in my active tool. So I have image selected. Then for this example, I'll just change it out from one in my course. So I have this banner image in my course ready to go. And literally just click on the image and that's it. And yeah, there it goes. So we are 1 minute over. I really appreciate
And
everybody
Lori,
for coming.
Lori, wait. There is a question here about, can they go ahead and use the new sidebar now or wait? What's your recommendation on that?
I think that you can use the new sidebar now. Definitely, do the trainings inside the sidebar. But with the caveat that if you look for some things like institutional templates, they're not 100% ready. We'll be 100% ready on January 6th. Thanks for coming, everybody. I'll stay in case there's any other questions that anybody has.
Hi, I did have a question. I
Sure.
use a lot of the hidden gems from the legacy.
Mhm.
And I noticed that some of them have been like sort of merged into the full version of DesignPLUS. But for the ones that aren't, how long will they continue to be supported?
Yeah, the hidden gems are still supported.
Okay.
And I think they still will be.
Okay, cool.
Definitely. But and yeah, they're all built in the sidebar. So they are still working on like integrating the hidden gems into the new sidebar. But they also they'll still work.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
But Lori, I know we've been in communication with City Labs. So Renee, if you see any hidden gems that didn't make the cut or you can't find it or something like that, just email us and we'll write Lori. We can then follow up with that.
Yeah, we can make feature requests.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I ask how you can change the colors in the header?
Yes. I'll share my screen one more
I
time.
cannot find that.
That is in our advanced course, but I'll show you. Okay, so let's change this background color from brown to something else. We can actually, should we stop the recording or should we keep it going?
I think so. I mean, this is a bonus question.
Bonus round.
Bonus if you made it this long. All right. So like we always do is just click where you want to edit with your cursor. And then it's in advanced.
Okay.
So we're just going to go to the advanced panel. And then it's in style editor.
Okay.
And then in here, these are all the fun things that you can do. So the colors, it's just in the colors tab.
Okay.
Tricky thing is that you want to make sure that you have the correct element selected. So the background color, I have to navigate similar to the legacy is I just have to navigate to the element, the correct element. So I just know the background is in the header element. And then you just click on your hex code and then just like the legacy, you can just edit it just like that.
Okay. And will it get to where like if we've got colors that are in a palette or something like that, we can add that?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's really, really customizable. It's more customizable than the legacy.
Perfect.
There's so much to do. We can't cover it all today.
Yeah, well now I know where that is to play with. I love that you can change the font. That was a fun discovery. I like that. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. We'll have fun discovering all the new things. All right. Well, thank you, everybody.